Hey girlies, welcome or welcome back to my archive. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys tips on how to grow your hair. I literally used to have like waist length hair, like not when it was curly, but when I straightened it, it was down there. But my hair was literally damaged. It had heat damage, it was split ends, it was breakage, it was just unhealthy, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So I decided to do a big chop, and I'm not gonna get into like my whole curly hair journey because that's not what you're here for. But I just want to tell you guys, I have cut my hair about a good 4 to 5 times in my whole curly hair journey, and it never fails at growing back. Like I literally cut my hair like a couple months ago and it's back to its normal length that it used to be at. I just want to help people learn how to grow their hair because I feel like a lot of people think I'm gonna put this hair oil in my hair and it's just gonna grow and it's gonna be beautiful. It's not all about the hair oils. My goal is to help you not think too much about it. My goal is to give you the tips and tricks that you will need to grow your hair as fast as possible. With all that being said, let's get into some tips on how to grow your curly hair in 2025. So my first tip that I'm gonna give you is to prioritize your scalp health. Now, when I say prioritize your scalp health, I mean you need to have a clean scalp. You should not have a dirty scalp. I'm sorry. You might have a dirty scalp without even you knowing, for real. Your scalp might be dirty. I'm not calling you a dirty person, but your scalp can be very dirty, especially if you're doing slick backs like 5 times out of the whole week. Like, do you really think you can slick your hair back 5 days out of the whole week and think, oh, I'm gonna wash it real quick with some shampoo and then it's all clean? No. The best way to prioritize your scalp health and to make it actually clean is to invest in a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoos are really good for your scalp. When you use a regular shampoo, it's not doing the same thing as a clarifying shampoo. When you use a clarifying shampoo, it gets rid of all that product buildup. So say you're slicking your hair back for 5 days in a row, like I said, and you clarify your hair, it's literally going to break down the products inside your scalp. Like, it's going to clean your scalp, and your scalp is going to feel much lighter and a lot more cleaner. Because when you have all that sweat and old hair products in your scalp, it just clogs your hair follicles, causing it not to grow. Another tip that I'm going to give you is moisturize your hair. Moisture retention is key to growing your hair. Since you have curly hair, it is more prone to be dry because of the way your curly hair is structured. Since your hair is curly, it makes your natural hair oils from your scalp harder to reach like the ends of your hair. You're going to need to moisturize your hair so it's not dry all the time, because when your hair is dry, it's more prone to breakage, and you do not want breakage because that's literally the last thing you need. Another way you can keep in that moisture in your hair is to use satin pillowcases and silk bonnets. When you sleep on cotton, it absorbs all that moisture from your hair, but when you sleep in like a silk or satin pillowcase, it actually preserves the moisture and reduces friction and frizz while you sleep. The next tip I'm going to give you guys is length retention. Length retention is basically avoiding as much breakage as possible. In order to prevent breakage from happening, you need to stop doing high tension styles. And when I say high tension, I mean those slick backs. You need to stop doing them hairstyles. You want to make sure you do low tension hairstyles. And I post a lot of low tension styles on my Instagram page, so if you want to see some hairstyles that are very low tension, make sure you go check those out. Another way you could practice length retention is to trim your hair regularly. When you don't trim your hair, you're gonna have a lot of split ends, and what split ends do is they travel up your hair shaft and they start to break your hair. So this means even more breakage. How is your hair gonna grow if the bottom of your hair can't even last? Like, it's literally like breaking upwards. So make sure you trim your hair regularly and very often. Another way you could practice length retention is on your wash day. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be one of these girlies. I would literally wash my hair as it's tangled. I would not brush it or anything. I washed my hair while it was still tangled, then I put conditioner in it, and then I'll detangle it with the conditioner in it. But it's like, girl, do you know how much hair you're working off? And you probably didn't even wash your hair right because your whole hair is just tangled up. So you want to make sure you have a good pre-shampoo routine. And a pre-shampoo routine just consists of detangling your hair before you actually wash it. Now, when you detangle your hair, you don't want to start from the root to the ends. You want to start with your ends and make your way up. So be very gentle when you detangle your hair because that's a main point of breakage, especially if your hair is very prone to breakage. It's so easy to just brush and then boom, you broke a whole bunch of hair strands off when you didn't even have to. Another tip I will give you is to not frequently wash your hair. You don't want to wash your hair more than once a week. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be one of them girls. I used to feel dirty if I was wearing a slick back and then I wore it again the next day, and then I'm like, nope, gotta wash my hair. When you shampoo too often, it can strip the natural oils of your hair. And what did I say? I said scalp is your main priority. So if you're stripping your natural hair oils in your scalp and you're putting in some Target hair oil trying to like, oh, my hair needs to grow, but girl, you're not even using your natural oils, how do you think your hair is gonna grow? It's not. So make sure you don't overwash your hair. I would recommend once a week wash your hair, at max twice a week, but don't overdo it. Your hair does not need to be washed as often as you might think it does. My last tip on how to grow your hair is to stay consistent and stay patient. Your hair usually grows about a ½ inch per month, but in order to maintain that length, you have to be consistent with your length retention. This means you have to take care of your hair daily. You can't just think, oh, I'm gonna lock in for a week and then just give up your whole routine. And mind you, you don't even have to be having a routine, like a daily hair routine. You just have to be mindful of what you do to your hair. Like, let's say you're about to do your hair in the morning and you're like, okay, let me slick it back. No, you have to be aware. You have to say, okay, like, maybe I shouldn't slick my hair back because it's going to cause breakage, and breakage is the last thing I need right now because I am trying to grow my hair. So you might do a low tension hairstyle. It's like little stuff like that you have to stay consistent with. Don't forget the journey that you're on because it is going to take a little while. It's not an overnight switch or like a month switch. It's going to take some time, and you just have to be very consistent and patient. Those were all my personal tips on how I retain length in my hair. Obviously, I don't have waist hair length, but I really hope that I was able to help you on your hair growth journey. And if you made it to the end of the video, I truly do appreciate you. Make sure you spread love, express gratitude, and I'll see you girlies in the next video.